Hey, what's up, comic fans? Welcome to another edition of the Cosmic Comic Book Broadcast with your friendly neighborhood comic book broadcaster. Hey, thanks for joining me this time around. And before we continue, I just want to say a big thank you to those of you who watched my previous video on the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries. Thank you for your comments, thank you for your likes, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. It makes me really happy to see whenever I check the statistics on YouTube that I have a few more subscribers. If you haven't done so, have a look at my channel, have a look at the videos I've posted, and also subscribe to Comic Book Broadcaster. That's my channel on YouTube. What do we have for you this time around on the Cosmic Comic Book Broadcast? Well, we're going to talk about a magnificent miniseries. Actually, this one is actually called a limited series. Come May of this year, come May 2017, this limited series will be 33 years old. It is a classic. I'm talking about Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Oh, I love that title. It is a limited series that was released in May of 1984 until April of 1985. All in all, 12 issues were released for this limited series. Jim Shooter, the then Marvel editor-in-chief, he was the writer. Mike Zack and Bob Layton, they were the pencilers, and John Beatty was the inker. Now, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, or just Secret Wars, was actually a tie-in to a toy line, and it was also called Secret Wars. The idea for Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars at the time came from the then editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, Jim Shooter. You see, Mattel were interested in licensing Marvel characters. Kenner had the license for DC Comics. So when they wanted to do it, Mattel wanted a huge publishing event that would get a lot of attention. So Jim Shooter proposed Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Now Mattel, on their part, agreed to this concept, to this huge publishing event, if they had a few things changed, if Marvel would change a few things for them. Now what they wanted was, they wanted new armor for Dr. Doom, because they said Doom was too medieval. Personally, I like the way Doom looks even back then. I don't think he looked medieval, but they updated his armor for the Secret Wars limited series. They wanted more high-tech to be, I guess, put into Doom's look. Iron Man's armor also had to be upgraded. They wanted lots of toys, fortresses, play sets. Basically, they wanted the whole 9 yards. Now, this limited series, well, it introduced to us to the Beyonder, who found the Marvel Universe fascinating. And what he wanted to do was, he wanted to bring the superheroes of Earth and take them to a battleground, a battle world on an alien planet. One team of heroes, one team of villains. Now, the issue that everyone knows about was issue number 8 of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, when Spider-Man got a new look, an updated look, and everyone knew that he was wearing a black and white costume. Little did we know that was Venom at the time. It was drawn by Mike Zack, and well, everyone's attention just went through the roof. You see, when I found out that there's a limited series called Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, hey, as a fanboy, I went through the roof. I really wanted to buy it. I really wanted to read it because I was intrigued, and all my friends were saying that, oh, it's all about this, it's all about that. And unfortunately for me, and I say this very truthfully, unfortunately for me at the time, none of the newspaper vendors, the so-called bookstores, wanted to place orders for this, because they would often say, oh, it's out of stock, we can't get any. And they can't get it on a regular monthly basis because it's a limited series. But yeah, those days it was really difficult, because where I am, there's no local comics shop, and no one would actually bring in something like this, something like Secret Wars. I would ask the store owners day after day, week after week, and they would always give me the same answer. They would say, huh? That was the best answer they had. They had no idea what I was talking about. Things got worse when, as I mentioned, issue number 8, they introduced a new costume for Spider-Man, the black and white symbiote costume that would eventually become Venom. So, yeah, I wanted to buy it so badly, but I could not. So what happened was, a few years after that, I had a chance to travel overseas, and I went to Singapore. And in Singapore, I walked into a real comic shop, and the store owner said, "Hey, young man, would you like to buy this?" Needless to say, I was dumbfounded, because this was Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue 12. Now, this isn't a mint copy because it's got some damage on the spine. I think hopefully the glare isn't too bad here. There's a creasing on the spine and everything, and somewhere down the middle, I don't know if you can see it, there is a line right down the page. Anyway, I wanted the entire 12-issue miniseries, limited series, but the store owner said, "Sorry, we don't have it. We do, however, have this issue. Would you like to buy it?" Normally, any normal comic collector would buy number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but not me. No, no, no. I bought issue 12 first, and I read it like crazy. I really enjoyed it, and it became kind of like my holy grail to get Secret Wars, the entire 12-issue miniseries. And I was pretty lucky, because a few years after that, I managed to get Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. This is issue number 1. Now, issue number 1 featured this really great cover by Mike Zeck and John Beatty. You know what? Mike Zeck is one of my favorite artists, and I was really excited when I found out that he is the artist to Secret Wars, along with John Beatty. And one character I find that, of course, they've had so much experience drawing was Captain America. And this is great. There have been a few other variations to this cover, because there's a cover floating out there, an unused version of this, where they have Mr. Fantastic and so on, and Thor as well. So yeah, so this is issue number 1. Beautiful, isn't it? I think it's one of the nicest covers I've ever seen. Really nice. Moving on to issue number 2, where Magneto would be the main focus of this cover. Really nice. Okay, just going to bring that a bit closer for you to have a look. Issue number 2, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Yeah. Number 3, The Crisis Within. Now, this one was drawn and inked by Mike Zeck, and I really enjoyed this one. Beautiful covers, beautiful storyline at the time. Now, everyone thought that I was really happy with Secret Wars, but I have a little, I guess, a little beef against the Secret Wars limited series, because starting with issue 4, I do believe, Bob Layton took over as the penciler. I'm not too sure why. I tried to find out online if there was any specific reason why Bob Layton took over as penciler. John Beatty stuck around as penciler. Now, nothing against Bob Layton. He's an experienced artist. He was one of the artists behind Iron Man for so long, and he's done a lot of good work. But I found that I liked Mike Zeck's artwork better. He gelled a lot better with John Beatty, and I guess I'm a big fan of Mike Zeck, and I was a little unhappy. Unhappy because I waited so many years to get this limited series. I wanted the entire series to be Mike Zeck's artwork, but still, this is the issue that some people remember. Beneath 150 billion tons stands the Hulk, and he's not happy. Yeah, this issue contains a really great segment where was it Magneto or someone? Yeah, I believe it was Magneto who placed a mountain on top of the Marvel superheroes, and the only one to stop it was the Incredible Hulk. Issue number 5. Now this issue, this cover is memorable to me because Marvel used this cover in a house ad, and it was placed all over some other comics that we were selling at the time, and I was wondering, my goodness, the X-Men strike back, and Spider-Man was, captured by Dr. Octopus here, and Iron Man in trouble, Reed Richards is out cold. So I was wondering, what's going on here. So I really wanted to get this issue, and I really wanted to get the series complete. Yeah, beautiful cover on issue number 5. Issue number 6, Galactus is featured prominently here with the villains of Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. I do believe at this point Bob Layton is still the penciler of the series. Again, nothing against Bob, but I wish that I wish that Mike Zeck had actually stayed on as penciler. I thought that Mike Zeck just left the series, but no, because he actually came back to it. Issue number 7 was really interesting for me because it featured, as this little caption here says, can you see that? Let me see if I can bring that closer. It says, "The death of an Avenger," and what else does it say? The X-Men's greatest battle, introducing the all-new Spider-Woman. And that's her right there. Okay. Yeah, great cover as well. Again, it is by Bob Layton. With issue number 8, Mike Zeck actually came back to draw Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, and issue number 8 has been called the big boy of the entire 12-issue limited series, and that's why. That's the reason. The black and white symbiote, Venom, will one day be Venom, was drawn by Mike Zeck here. Amid the chaos, there comes a costume. This was one of the reasons why I wanted to get the entire limited series. Everyone was talking about it at the time. Anyone who read comic books knew that Spider-Man had a new costume, and everyone just went through the roof. So I wanted to get this issue, and thankfully I could get the entire 12-issue miniseries, including this one of my favorites. Coming down to issue number 9. This is a cover by Mike Zeck and Bob McLeod. Yep. Continuing the storyline as everything comes to a head, heading towards issue number 12. Against the Beyonder to the Death. Now, this is one of the nicest, most memorable covers I've ever seen. Mike Zeck together with Terry Austin for this cover. Beautiful, don't you think? I love this one. The Face of Doom, number 11, has a really interesting first page by Mike Zeck, and I always remembered this particular issue. It was really interesting to see, and I couldn't wait to read it because there's Doom, and there's Doom without his mask on. There's a look at his costume as well, his brand new armor here. Issue 12 was, it's after the Big Bang, and this is a better copy that I have of Secret Wars, and I really liked it. So I was really glad that the entire 12 issues were in great shape. Anyway, back to the story for issue 12. No spoilers. If you haven't read it, if you haven't read it, I'm sure there are trade paperbacks out there, and you can actually get an idea of what happened in issue number 12. Suffice to say that it is one of those big issues. After issue number 12, a few changes actually took place. Iron Man had a new look. Ben Grimm stayed back on Battle World, and a few other changes were made. The Incredible Hulk was badly injured as well, and a lot of small changes were made to the Marvel Universe, where all the heroes went back home and everything. This issue featured Mike Zeck handling the pencils, and a whole group of inkers actually helped him out with the art for this issue. So that's a look at my holy grail, you might say. Magnificent miniseries called Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars. Just the other day when Marvel Studios got back the rights to a few other characters, a lot of people were speculating, since they're making Avengers Infinity War, will they make Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars one day? I hope they will, but they'll need to get a lot of characters back. I won't hold my breath, but stranger things have happened. So that's my video for this time around. Once again, like the video, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the Comic Book Broadcaster right here on YouTube. Comic Book Broadcaster saying once again, enjoy your comics, comic fans. I'll see you next time for another video on the Cosmic Comic Book Broadcast.